Hello and welcome. If you're a university student, online discussion boards are just a part of life. They're everywhere. But what if I told you that the way you're responding could actually be holding you back? Well, today we're going to break down exactly how to write responses that will not only impress your professors, but also help boost your grades.
So let's just start with a really direct question. Are your discussion board posts secretly hurting your grade? It's a serious thing to consider because, honestly, a lot of students are surprised when they find out their comments, which are totally well-intentioned, just aren't hitting the mark. And that's usually because there's a huge difference between a casual reply and a really strong academic response.
And this right here is the most important thing to remember. A university discussion board is not a social media comment section. It's actually a formal, graded academic task. In so many courses, these posts are a key part of your final grade, and they show your professor how you're keeping up with the material.
So when your professor is reading your post, what are they actually looking for? Well, it boils down to these 4 things. They want to see that you understand the course material, that you're thinking critically about it, that you can use sources to back up your ideas, and that you're engaging in a thoughtful way with your classmates. A weak response? Well, it just doesn't show any of this.
This brings us to probably the single most common mistake that new university students make. It's that trap of the short, agreeable comment. You know the one. It's friendly, for sure, but it has almost zero academic value.
This slide really just perfectly illustrates that gap between what you intend and what your professor sees. When you write something like, "Good point," you're just trying to be supportive, right? But your professor, they see a missed opportunity. What they see is no explanation, no supporting evidence, and no critical thought. Essentially, these friendly little phrases don't actually show the academic work you're doing.
Okay, so this is the mindset shift you really need to make. Your response isn't just a quick comment. It's more like a miniature academic paragraph. It needs to have structure, it needs some evidence, and it needs a clear purpose, just like any other piece of writing you do at the university level.
So how do you actually do that? Well, the good news is there's a pretty straightforward formula that you can follow. Let's break down the 4 steps that are going to help you build a really powerful response every single time.
This 4-step structure is your key to success. It's so simple. First, you just acknowledge the specific point that you're responding to. Second, you clearly state your own position, whether you agree or disagree, and you explain why. Third, and this is absolutely critical, you support your position with some evidence from your course readings or other academic sources. And finally, you push the conversation forward by asking a thoughtful new question or suggesting a different angle to consider.
Okay, theory is great, but let's actually see what this looks like in practice. We're going to compare a pretty weak response with a strong one that uses that exact 4-step structure we just talked about. Wow, the difference is like night and day, isn't it? The weak response is just a dead end, but the strong response, even in this short version, does so much more. It starts with agreement, that's step 1, but then it immediately supports that agreement with a source. You see Chen 2020 there, that's step 3. And it extends the whole conversation with a brand new question, that's step 4. This is the kind of response that's going to earn top mark. All right, now that you've got the core structure down, let's just refine it a little bit by looking at a few key rules for academic engagement. We'll talk about how to use citations, how to disagree respectfully, and what kind of writing style is expected. Yes, even in a discussion board, citations matter. You usually don't need a whole formal reference list at the end, but a simple in-text citation, like according to Garcia 2019, shows your professor that you are engaging with the course material and giving credit where it's due. It's a fundamental part of academic integrity.
Now, disagreement. It's not only allowed in university, it's actually encouraged. It's how knowledge grows and moves forward. The key is to do it respectfully and always with evidence. Don't ever make it personal. Instead, you can use phrases like, "While I understand your point," and then present your counterargument supported by research, just like you see in this example.
And finally, let's talk about style. Just remember, this is an academic task, so you should always use complete sentences and formal language. You'll want to avoid informal slang, definitely no emojis, and of course, avoid opinions that you can't back up with some kind of evidence. Just keep it professional and focused on the topic.
So you might be thinking, why go through all this effort for just one discussion post? Well, it's because the payoff is actually really significant, and it goes far beyond just one single grade.
This is what it all boils down to. If you remember nothing else, remember these 3 words. Every single response you post should be a clear demonstration of thought, effort, and evidence.
And when you consistently do this, the benefits are huge.
Obviously, you're going to improve your grades in the course, but you're also going to strengthen your overall academic writing skills, and you'll be so much more prepared for those intellectual conversations that happen in live seminars and tutorials. It's a skill that just builds on itself. So there you have it. You now have a clear, actionable framework. You know what professors are looking for, and you know how to deliver it. The only question left is, how are you going to apply all this to make your very next discussion post the strongest one you have ever written?